everybody, this is Sherry at djsundry.blogspot.com, and today I have kind of an out-of-the-box, for me anyway, kind of card. This is not normally how I do cards, but I thought this would be kind of fun, kind of trendy, for somebody a bit younger, a young adult. And so let's just get started. I've already done some of the prep work and we are ready to go. So we're going to be using a few things today. From Megan Elizabeth over at Above Ruby Studio, we're going to be using these sparkle lights. And this is the Check Me Out color. That they're just bright red. And I think I'm going to be using a couple of those, and I'm going to get those out. I haven't decided 100% for sure, but I think I will. So then from Basic Gray, I'm using the Shine On paper pad, and I picked this up at Joann's in the city, and my Joann's isn't carrying these, but the one in the city, the larger one, is, and I believe that they may have closed these out. I'm not 100% positive, but I picked them up on sale, and then they shared with another line with Serendipity. They shared some of the same embellishments. So I picked up these die cut flowers, which some of them, there are different shapes of flowers in here. Some of them are a nice heavy cardstock, other are actually canvas. And I believe the one we're using today is canvas, and different colors and stuff. And then also, to go with those, they did these metal flowers. They also have flags and all sorts of fun things, but this is what I've used. So we're going to set these aside and we're going to get going. For close to my heart, I'm using the Ruby ink color, and then I had a happy birthday stamp, and I don't know the name of the stamp, and so I apologize. It's one I've had for a long time, lost the packaging. It was probably one of those little dollar stamps, or only cost me a couple dollars, and I don't know the name of it. But I chose a few different papers from this Shine On stack, so I've already got them ready, so let's get going. I am from Paper Tray Ink. I used the Vintage Cream cardstock because it's a great match for this this stack, and I cut it. It was an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock, and I have done another card recently, and I cut both card bases at the same time. So I just cut it down the middle at 5.5. Then I scored it at 4 1/4, so it's 8.5 inches wide by 5.5 inches tall, scored at 4 1/4 to form our 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card. Now I've already started the inside of the card, and this is the paper from the Shine On. Now let me show you that piece of paper. This is actually just kind of a fun stripy print. You could use this for male or female. This is the card you'll see is going to obviously be for a female, but it could be used for either. And what I did is I cut these apart. This is some of the leftover paper from this piece because it's a 6 by 6 inch pad, and so I just cut this bottom part is 1 inch, and this one looks like it's, I didn't measure it, but it looks like it's a little bit smaller, and I layered them on top of each other to kind of offset them. And then another of the colors that I'm using from that same is a piece of scrap that I had from another project that was in that same pack. You see it's the same one that's in this stripe right here, and I'm going to be using that. So I took the scrap, the last little piece. Yes, I'm using up my scraps. And I took, this is where I stamped my happy birthday, and it was too wide to fit all the way across, so I stamped it at an angle, which is kind of working out well for this particular card because I'm kind of just putting things at angles and using different shapes and textures. And so I thought what I would do is I would line this up so that the happy birthday is actually almost straight. And let's come down just a tad. I want the happy birthday to be straight, so that means the paper is going to be at an angle. Now that is a pigment ink. I've had it actually sitting there for a while so it's dry so I can rub over it, but you do have to be careful. If that was fresh, you wouldn't want to do that or it would smear. So that's how we're finishing the inside, just all angles and funky fun, and that's all we're doing there. So now let's move to the front of a card. Now this piece here I have set and I have cut at 4 inches wide by 5 1/4 inches tall. I'm not using any ribbon on this at all, so I'm just going to put this straight down. Now, though this Basic Gray pack is cardstock, it's a very lightweight cardstock. You definitely would not want to make a card base out of it. It's just too lightweight. It's more of a heavy paper or a super lightweight cardstock. but it does great things for making pictures or layers. So that is going on there. And now we have our next piece, and I've cut it, actually I didn't even measure this, but based on what I'm seeing here, I'd say it's about 2 inches. Let's pull out the ruler and see. Helps if it's right. No, it's actually almost 2 3/4 inches wide. And then it also is 4 inches across. So I did measure that direction and made the measurements go together on the side, from side to side, but I didn't really care about top to bottom, and you'll see why in just a minute. So I want to basically center that, and this is going to just be the anchoring piece. I didn't really center that well, but I think it'll be okay. So now we pull out our flower. This is 2 of the pieces, or these are 2 of the pieces from that set. Different patterns, they all coordinate, they're all just well coordinated, and I'm going to do those right in the middle. Now I think because this is a canvas texture, I want to use, in fact there's even paper on that, I'm not sure why. Maybe something they peeled the back off when they were die cutting, I don't know. I'll just get rid of that. I am going to glue this with my Scotch Quick Dry in the middle. I'm going to let the edges kind of hang free, so they can be moved. As long as they don't catch, it will be fine. Now again, this has metal embellishments on it. Oh, and the glue's coming through the canvas, but it will dry clear, so it'll be okay. Using these big metal flowers, mailing that would be a bit expensive, but I'm not going to mail it, so it doesn't matter. This is again going to be a hand-delivered card, and just put that. Now that's kind of fun, just like that. I think I just like, even though this, like I said, this is totally outside of the box for me, and I think that that's kind of fun. But I'm going to add one more thing. I'm going to get this metal red flower with this kind of a topazy colored sequin in the middle, and these do have a little piece of foam sticker on the back, and it will stick nicely to that paper. I'm just going to press that in there. So there we have our flower. Now I thought it would be pretty to add some sparkle lights, and my original thought here was to add them to the sides, but there's really not room. But I think it will be pretty to add them like that. Now again, if I was mailing this with all this stuff, well, I would still put them in and just pay the extra 20 cents. But do realize if you're mailing something like this, especially with this metal on it, you definitely are probably going to want to put it in a padded envelope and pay the extra postage, because that metal embellishment is just not going to survive the mail. I just don't think it will. The sparkle lights will punch right through the card envelope as well. Ask me how I know. Yeah, I've done it, and misaddressed it, and it came back to me, and the envelope is just really in rough shape when that happens. So, you know, I think we're going to put it in all 4 corners. So let me get a couple more sparkle lights out here. Just add a little bit more bling to it. No, I didn't even have to squeeze. And that will dry really quickly. You could also use glossy accents. It would do a really good job holding that down. In fact, when I've used the sparkle lights in the past, I believe that that's probably what I have used, is the glossy accents. But today we're just going to grab, this is close at hand, so that's what we're going to grab. So there we have it. Super fun, super quick card, kind of trendy. Definitely fits a young adult or a teenager would probably be good. And if you wanted to switch it out and make it for a male, you could just do something different. Instead of the flower in the middle, those colors actually could be for either male or female. So thanks so much for stopping by today. Remember, take some time to enjoy the little things. Have a great day, and I'll see you back soon. Bye.